What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. Hold on, were we live? Were we live? Yes, we were. All right, it's your boy, Motor City Don P. And when you see me, you know that the Motor City Cats, back at it, came to give you stats, none of that static. We don't do static around here. But whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And today, we are going to go ahead and get into some mock draft madness. Why is it mock draft madness? Because there's been so much going on. The mock drafts around the NFL are kind of solidifying. There is still a little bit of turmoil at the top. People are predicting Shedeur Sanders to drop. People are predicting Cam Ward to go first or to go second. What does that mean for Will Levis? Is Tennessee trading out of the pick, going somewhere else? Could the Detroit Lions possibly trade up and grab an Abdul Carter? Is there anything to that? And then there are also some things that make you scratch your head. There are some mock drafts out there, some decisions that people are making. And I don't know if they're basing their selections off of needs of teams or off of BPA. But if you need a defensive end and you draft a quarterback, well, I don't begrudge you, right? But if you need a defensive end and you draft a tight end, that doesn't make any sense. So we're going to get into some of those things. What up, though, Just a Fan? Other stuff that we're going to get into, the Detroit Lions have some number changes. I know this happened yesterday. I wasn't on. So let's talk about it. Jahmyr Gibbs changing to number 0. Jameson Williams, Waymo, JMO down below. You know I am the keeper of the JMO. And it makes me so happy because the last two people that graced, or I wouldn't say graced, the last two people that donned the number 1 for the Detroit Lions were cheeks. Maurice Alexander was a dynamic return man in the UFL or the USFL at the time. Last year, he got his opportunity to play returner. And all you were worried about is this man going to catch the football? Because in the preseason, it did not look good. And that guy was wearing number 1. And, of course, the guy before him was Cam Sutton. Boy. Cam Sutton. He went by such nicknames as Sutton Toast, Camangler the Mangler, or Camangler the Strangler. All right, that might have been a bridge too far. But now in his, I'll defend him in 2 ways. Cam Sutton in Pittsburgh was a number 2 cornerback. He came over here. I'm not going to say he got paid like a number 1 cornerback because he was only getting $11 million. And we see Carlton Davis just left the Detroit Lions for $20 million per. We see DJ Reed just got $16 million per from the Detroit Lions. We see others got 18 and 19 million. So I don't think 11 million at the time, even though it was a couple years ago, was being paid like a number 1 corner. I think he was brought in on what you would call a bargain deal for a middling tier corner. But that's number 1. And the second way is that he did get hurt. He was dealing with the turf toe injury. You could see that his play significantly fell off in the second half of the season. In the first half of the season, he wasn't flashy, right? But he wasn't called Sutton Toast. He wasn't getting burnt. He wasn't locking anybody down, but he was solid, right? And then Sutton Toast came along when he had the turf toe injury. You could see he had lost the step. It looked like he was plotting. He wasn't smooth. He wasn't fluid in his motions, getting in and out of the breaks and covering guys and trying to make up ground and things of this nature. So it was always a step slow. And that's why he was called Sutton Toast. So he had the number one as well. And then we go to the man that had more jersey changes, number changes than interceptions. We have a man who has played on more teams now than he has interceptions for his career. That man is Jeffrey Oh Hell No Kuda. Just a fan says, if you don't come injured or get injured, we don't want you. Well, Abdul Carter, Jihad Campbell apparently just recently had shoulder surgery. I'm just saying. All right, just keep your eye out on that one. Jeffrey Oh Hell No Kuda came in the league at, I don't remember what was his number, and when he came in, was it 33 or something like that? 30. It was 30. And then the next year, he changed his number to number 23. Then the next year, he changed his number to number 1, and he got traded. Why on earth would a person such as Jeffrey Oh Hell No Kuda, okay, change his jersey to number 1? You see, that one frustrated me the most because I wore number 1. And I was actually a good football player. Jeffrey Oh Hell No Kuda. Some would say he was better than me because he got to the NFL. I would just say circumstances took him to the NFL because he is on his 4th team in 4 years. Okay? The Lions, the Cardinals, not the Cardinals, the Lions, the Falcons, the Texans, now the Vikings. Okay? So that is what we have. So to have a person such as J-Mo, who is a dynamic football player, who is one of my favorite Lions, maybe of all time. If we had to say top 5 favorite Lions, obviously number 1 is Barry Sanders. Number 2 is Calvin Johnson. Who would be my number 3 favorite? Maybe Ndamukong Suh. Then I go Gibbs and J-Mo. I mean, if it's not, my top 5, I guess. You'd have to put Amon Ryan there. So I would have to have a top 10. I would have a top 10. You guys in the chat, and you get in there in the chat later, maybe we'll do a top 10. Do a top 10 favorite Lions show next week or something. I don't know, because, we need ideas. We need ideas. But anyway, what is happening here? Let me know if you're getting a lag, because it shouldn't be lagging. It should be all good. I'm connected. So maybe at some point I need to restart my router because, the kids use it all the time. Anyway, yeah, so that's what's happening. J-Mo has changed to number 1. It came as a surprise, actually, because they did, when it became available last year, his mom tweeted out number 9 is safe. And I just thought that he was running with the number 9. But obviously, number 1 comes available again this year. I'm guessing that means Maurice Alexander is not going to be on the team. He might be brought in for training camp as he usually is, or he might be brought in during the preseason and give him another shot at, I understand. I understand, because this is the issue with what I do. Sometimes I have to talk about people, and it's what's best for the team, but this is people's lives and things of that nature. So I'm not trying to disparage anyone. But when you have a punt returner or a kick returner and you worry about if he's going to catch the football, or not, which is number one before he can do anything, before he can do his job. His first job is to secure the ball. After that, then he can think about running somewhere, but he must secure the ball first. And when you're muffing kicks and punts and left and right, and then when we see you back there, we are unsure, like Jake Moody. Okay, sorry. Hope you get an opportunity elsewhere. Um, but yeah, JMO's number one. Jahmyr Gibbs is number 0. Now, I found this one interesting for a number of reasons. I don't think he wore number 0. Someone said something about a college number. I don't know. Let me check quickly because I don't want to speak. All right, let's see. In Georgia Tech, he was number 1. At Alabama, he was number 1. Georgia Tech, he was number 1 and 21. Yeah, so he had 2 numbers at Georgia Tech as well. Do we have a number 21 on this team? Justin Fan says Okuda, our superstar from the Oh Hell No state. He didn't say Oh Hell No, but I don't use the actual name. So I was actually pretty surprised about oh my goodness. Okay, so Jahmyr Gibbs Wikipedia says that he is nicknamed Sonic. So sorry, the electrician is officially out. There was something that I heard that he said. I don't want to say it without double checking because I love to double check. All right, I'm not one of those people that just says thing out of my posterior and don't verify it. So let's double check this. Okay, my search is not okay. All right. So I believe that hold on. Here we go. Searching it up. There was something apparently on his Instagram story. All right, let me see. Hold on. I don't want to say it. So someone said something really stupid on Reddit. It said 0 is the same number as scrimmage yards and TDs he has this NFL season so far. Is this a sign he's holding out? Many people are asking this. Who's holding out? This is his 3rd year. He's entering. Why are people stupid? I don't know. Okay. Basically what I heard was, and I'll try to verify this later. Basically what I heard was that Jahmyr Gibbs did not like the number 26. So I want to verify it before I run with it. Okay, here it is. All right, I got an article. It says Jahmyr Gibbs comments on surprising offseason reveal. Jahmyr Gibbs has already become one of the most popular players on the Detroit Lions. His jersey is among 3 Lions players, Aiden Hutchinson and Amon-Ra St. Brown, that ranked in the top 10 of NFL jersey sales last year. His performance on the field has also won numerous fantasy football championships, 1,412 rushing yards with 20 total touchdowns last season. Mix in the fact that he plays for a Super Bowl contender and has a catchy Sonic nickname to go with his running mate, David Knuckles Montgomery. Okay, so when you say David Knuckles Montgomery, it actually sounds better, right? All right, maybe I'll start using that. David Knuckles Montgomery. It sounds better than just calling him Knuckles, right? Okay, so Montgomery, and it's not a surprise that fans love the 23-year-old, but they may have felt something when the Lions announced that Gibbs will be among several players changing their number ahead of the 2025 season. So then they have a tweet from Adam Schefter. Gibbs revealed his thoughts on the matter shortly after the team announced the change and why he decided to make the change. Jahmyr Gibbs says he hated wearing his old number with the Lions. Gibbs broke into the league as the 12th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, but didn't have his choice of a number. While he wore numbers 1 and 21 at Georgia Tech and number 1 at Alabama, Gibbs was saddled with the number 26 for his first 2 seasons in Detroit. It seemed like a random choice, and Gibbs confirmed it by saying he hated wearing number 26 on his Instagram story Thursday. Jahmyr Gibbs via Instagram, I hated 26, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. Okay? And here it is. Boom. Okay? So Jahmyr Gibbs did not like the number 26. Yeah, so there's no other context. Okay? So he hated number 26. Now, the other interesting reason for that, or the other thing that I found interesting about the fact that he changed number 0, is Terrion Arnold. Why did he change to number 6? He had a really cool nickname, which was Sub-Zero. Now he can no longer use the nickname. And the crazy thing is, he could have come, like, let's say he pops off next year, like some of us expect him to do. I don't expect him to pop off. I do expect him to be better. And y'all know how I feel about Terrion. I feel like he had a very serviceable rookie year. I think he was very sticky in coverage. He was always in phase. And he just got too handsy when he didn't trust his technique, and he felt like he was going to get beat, so he started grabbing on for dear life. It's a survival mechanism as a corner. So he changed to number 6. I didn't even think of this, but I just searched it up. Terrion is changing his number on the Detroit Lions to number 6 in honor of his late former teammate Kyrie Jackson. Okay? If you guys remember, Kyrie Jackson was the young man who played at Alabama. I believe he was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, and he died in a car accident before the season began last season. He said, because I wanted my brother to live through me, Terrion Arnold on Instagram. Okay. So now, with that reason, who cares about the number 20, the number 0 and the Sub-Zero nickname? So shout out to Terrion for changing his number to number 6 to honor his late friend. So I have no more to say about the Sub-Zero thing. Even what I was gonna say is that if he would have burst onto the scene next year, it would have been pretty cool. The memes and the shirts and all that stuff. But it's a good reason. What up though, Tactical Spork? What up though, Spirit of Detroit? Kyrie wore number 6 at Alabama. So 31 was, that was his jersey number for Minnesota, but he never played in it. So the last time he played, he was number 6 at Alabama. So yeah. He will have to be 6 pick now, or pick 6. Bro, if he gets enough, if he breaks the record, which I'm not saying he's gonna do, okay? If he breaks the record, because Deron Bland had 6 a couple seasons ago. So if he gets 7, then you can call him Pick Six. That'll be his nickname, and that would be pretty cool. Even if he gets 1, because we need him to get his head around and start looking for the ball. Like I said, coverage was sticky. So even if he gets 1 and he's wearing the number 6, maybe we call him Pick Six instead of Sub-Zero. All right. Y'all want to do this now? Y'all want to get y'all top 10s in now before we get to the mock drafts. Top 10 Detroit Lions. What is your list? Okay? I have 5. I have to think about. No, I have 6. I have to think about the other 4. I have 7. Okay? My ordering for the top 3 is going to be unshakable, but my ordering for the rest of them is up in the air. So my top 3, of course, are Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and Ndamukong Suh. I probably should say, shout out to Herman Moore and LNU. I probably should say Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, and Herman Moore. That's what I should probably say for my top 3. However, I'm going to put some people now behind Suh. Okay, so we got Herman Moore. That's 4. We got J-Mo. We got Gibbs, or if I'm going to put them in order, Gibbs is going to be after Herman. So that's going to be my top 5. My top 5 would be Barry Sanders, Megatron, Suh, Herman Moore, and Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm gonna throw an honorable mention in there. I'll wait till I do 10. All right. So I got 5. We got J-Mo, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We got Hutch. That's 8. See, this is hard, right? Let's see, where am I gonna go after this one? Feel sorry for the people that got a J-Mo jersey. He's had 3 numbers now. Well, at least he's not Jeffrey Ohel Nokuda and sucked in every one of them. So I got 8. Let's go through the Rolodex. I probably have to say Joique Bell because he's my cousin. I can't say Lomas Brown because I can't say an offensive lineman. Chris Spielman he wasn't my favorite, so just trying to think of another person. Probably somebody off Barry's team, like a Benny Blades or a Ray Crockett, or I thought Michael LaShore was gonna do something. We really thought Michael LaShore was gonna do something. Jahvid Best is gonna be my honorable mention. I feel like Jahvid Best had the potential to be what Jahmyr Gibbs is now. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is better. Yeah, I don't know, bro. What's a number 10? It ain't gonna be Rodney Peete. Or Johnny Morton. I don't even know. What up, though? Chip Bradshaw. He says Blades was a dog, for sure. So Tactical Spork says number 1 Barry, number 2 Megatron, 3 Herman, 4 Hutch, 5 Spielman, 6 Lomas Brown, 7 Melfar, 8 Golden Tate, 9 St. Brown, 10 Gibbs. Ooh, Titus Young. No. Dang, who's my Tactical Spark, I know this JMO ain't on your list. Top 10. What's going on now? Um, bro, I want to throw a wrench in there like Louis Delmas or something like that. Glover Quinn. DeAndre Levy. Let's go with DeAndre Levy, right? Let's show DeAndre Levy some love. Let's show our NFL tackle leader some love. So we'll put in. See, the pizza incident, I don't remember the pizza incident. Nate Burleson used to follow me on Twitter. He might still, I don't know. But I used to be a poet, so I had a Twitter account just for that. And he, Nate Burleson, he does the spoken word stuff, so he used to follow me. 10 is the top. I forgot about Kirby and Branch. I'm gonna throw Kirby in there. I'm gonna throw Kirby in there. Yeah, I'll throw Kirby in there. If you get comparisons to Ed Reed, like he's our Ed Reed. All right, so I'll throw Kirby in there. Delmas and Levy, yeah, Delmas didn't care. That's the thing. He would throw his body around, and unfortunately, the career was shortened. But Delmas would crack you, bro. You did not want to come over the middle while Louis Delmas was patrolling back there, and that was before all the health and safety stuff. Yeah, we've had some players over the years, for sure. We've had some players. you know who was supposed to be that dude? Ernie Sims. Ernie Sims was supposed to be that dude, but he had an over pursuing problem. Yeah, so he never turned out to be the dude that he was drafted to be. But yeah, Kyle Vanden Bosch, KVB. I mean, Ziggy could have made the list if he just could stay healthy. Ziggy, would y'all? Yeah, you can't actually put him in the same boat as Marcus Davenport. But could you though? Could you put Ziggy in the same boat as Marcus Davenport? I think Ziggy was healthier. Ziggy, the problem with Ziggy is he was 35 when he came out of college. Nobody knew his real age. Okay. He went to BYU. I don't know how long his mission was. He was doing a mission to Ghana. He had a wife and 4 kids when he came out of college, and you know what I mean. He had a mortgage. He had practiced law. You know what I mean. So he had lived a full life before he got to the Detroit Lions. So I could understand why he had the injuries that he had. You know what? I'm going to take it back. In my top 10, I'm finishing out with your boy, Dick Night Train Lane. Let's go. Let's get it. Dick Night Train Lane. Yeah, so that's who I'm putting that in there. It's like one of this on the seniors ballot for the Hall of Fame. He did. He lived a full life. He had 2 mortgages. He was divorced and remarried. He had stepkids. All right. Make sure y'all smash that like button, man. We came here to talk about mock drafts, right? So 2009, Burleson was set to fill a rather empty wide receiver room with Mike Fury and young Calvin. He was picking up pizza for the family, somehow lost it in the car while driving, broke his arm out for a year. Oh, yes. I remember the car accident. Yes. I vaguely remember pizza being part of that. So yes. All right. Shout out to you, Detroit fan, man. So I got we'll get into to the other stuff. Shout out J Wack Gridiron. Um, they do a really good job with draft breakdowns and things of this nature. So they did a mock draft for the Detroit Lions, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys. I'm gonna discuss every pick with you. Um, hold on now. Um, okay. All right. So I'm gonna discuss all the picks with you. They did give reasonings for their picks, but we're just gonna go through and see what they did. All right. I got it here. I just gotta go. All right. Here we go. All right. Now, there is no context as far as who was on the board at the time. If I did that, I would, because he did it like on his channel, kind of live. So I would have to go back and listen to it again. Um, it slipped off the seats when he hit the brakes, if I remember right. And what was he trying to grab it or something? I don't know. And while on the phone with Pops, he said, "Rip Eric Andolsek, the player who died mowing his lawn in 1992." So I was 10 at that time. How did he die mowing his lawn? This is interesting. Um, yeah, I remember Mike Utley. Um, what's his name? It wasn't Reggie Brown, was it? Reggie Brown played for the. I feel like Reggie Brown played for the Eagles. Um, I do remember Eric Andolsek. I don't remember him dying mowing his lawn. So we gotta get to the bottom of the lawn mowing incident. Um, you forgot to put Dre Bly in your top 10. Well, I trumped everybody. I said Dick Night Train Lane. So if you're gonna put a corner in after that, stop it. No, I'm just playing. It's your top 10. It's not mine. Um, yeah, let's get to this. Let me get this story about the Eric Andolsek first. What was that? Was it Reggie Brown? It was Mike Utley mowing his lawn in June 1992 when his semi driver ran off the highway and struck him. Occurred during the offseason after his final football game, the NFC Champ game, where the Lions finished 12-4. Damn, that sucks. I hope the semi driver did jail time. Because whatever you did, your negligence, whether you fell asleep, whether you were drunk, whatever, it caused the death of another person. So, hopefully, he did jail time. I would say is still in jail. But if it was vehicular manslaughter, then he's not going to be in jail forever. But all right. So, as I said, there is no context to this. I would have to go back into the the stream or the video and see what he said and why. All right. Are you guys ready? Um okay, I'm going to ask you guys to put these grades up. All right. And because you guys might not like, what are the odds you mowing the lawn and get hit by a semi? I don't think there are any odds of that. I don't think that happens. Um all right. So because you guys might not know all of these people, I will pull up uh what is it that I was using? Let me just pull up something that is not going to pull up a bunch of other tabs and then my stuff crashes out. All right. What was it? Draft something. Was it draft profiles or all right, so I will read each one of the draft. I think, yeah, there it is. Draft buzz. All right. So number one, um, with the 28th pick. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna read their draft profile, and then I will ask you to give me a grade based off of not just their draft profile, but also for your expectations of the pick. Like you may not like the pick, so I just want to give you a draft profile so that you know. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to just give you the name, and it's more interactive this way. All right. With the 28th pick of the NFL draft. Hold on, let me get my. All right. Now, again, according to JWAC Gridiron, JWAC, with the 28th pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Tyler Booker, interior offensive lineman, Alabama. All right. Now, Tyler Booker is 6'5", 321 pounds. His player rating is an 87. He is ranked number 8 at the interior offensive lineman position. So let me just give you some strengths. All right. Devastating power on down blocks. Elite arm length for an interior player that he weaponizes effectively. Shows exceptional awareness on stunts and twists. Elite pass protector with outstanding anchor. Brings consistent violence as a puller. Excellent grip strength to sustain blocks. Advanced understanding of leverage. True tone setter who brings an alpha mentality. Um, Weaknesses. Now I'm not reading like all the explanation. I'm just reading the the bullet point of what that strength or the weakness is because again we got 7 picks, so I'm not going to be sitting up here reading this entire time. All right, weaknesses: significant inconsistency in run blocking, often relies too heavily on initial power surge in run game. Footwork in run game needs refinement. Second level blocking is a major concern. Shows concerning tendency to lean and lunge in the run game. Lateral agility limitations show up prominently in space. Can be a tick slow diagnosing complex blitz packages. Despite good height, can play too high in run game. Um, based on that, I'm personally giving the pick is C minus too harsh. What up though, Motor City? Mr. Detroit City. What up there, Motown Mitch? Um, Bobby Lane comes with his own curse. All right. I'm gonna give the pick a C. For based off of what we need and then the weaknesses that he has, I don't know that I can. Nah. Mm-mm. I don't like that pick. I don't like that pick. I'm gonna give it a C minus. Tell me what y'all think about the Tyler Booker pick in the chat. What is your grade for it? You went way back. Lim Barney, Doak Walker, Alex Karras, Barry Sanders, Corey Schlesinger, and Nitro Lane, of course. So you had two that I had on there. Chip Bradshaw says, I'm not mad at it. B plus. We need to address the line at some point. Our coaching can correct several of those deficiencies. You're correct. We do have Casey Rogers on the defensive side, and we do have Hank Fraley on the offensive line. So, yeah, Tactical Sport gives it an F plus, right? Because again, remember what happens if you stay at 28 for the entire night. You're waiting for pick number 28 because Brad didn't trade up. If he trades back, you're going to be pissed because now you've wasted the entire night. You don't get to see the pick that the Lions made. You have to wait 24 more hours. Okay? Now, if he picks number 28, someone who is not an edge, you got to wait 24 hours again. Okay? So you're not going to be happy. Jesse Fan says C plus. Motown Mitch says Booker is a nice player, but guard in the first is a solid C. All right. So Chip Bradshaw gave it the highest grade. Tactical Sport gave it the lowest grade. Motown Mitch says, I'm praying for a trade back. I don't know that happens because Brad Holmes is never traded back. Not out of the first round completely. Alex Zimmerman says, what about Robert Porcher? He's up there. I don't know if he's top 10. Top 10 is actually pretty hard with the Lions, bro. All right. Y'all ready for pick number 2? All right. All right. So now you can hear me. Okay. So now we are at pick number 2. Did someone say a pimp named Slickback? Say it with me now. You got to say the whole thing. Pick number 2. Here we go. Now I don't want to poison the well. I don't want to poison the well. But pick number 2 is a position of need. However, the player I would rather had a better one in the first round. All right, y'all ready? Pick number 2. With the 60th pick in this year's NFL draft, the Detroit Lions select Oluwafemi Oladejo or Oladejo, UCLA. All right. Oluwafemi Oladejo is 6'3", 259 pounds. He is a linebacker / edge. His player grade is an 82.4. He is the 13th ranked at the position. His 40 time is a 4.7. All right. Now let's go ahead and get his strengths and his weaknesses. Strengths: shows rare cornering ability for a converted linebacker. Brings linebacker trained vision to the edge position. Unleashes violent hands at the point of attack. Closes space like a heat-seeking missile. Cross chop has developed into a go-to move. Plays with the kind of relentless motor that makes offensive coordinators account for him on every snap. Coverage instincts from linebacker days. Translate beautifully to zone drops and simulated pressure packages. Shows nasty demeanor, taking on blocks, refusing to stay engaged, and fighting through traffic with controlled violence. Okay. Pass rush arsenal remains a work in progress. This is the weaknesses. Gets caught playing too high. Still learning to time his moves. Anchor strength needs work. Must develop better peripheral vision to pick up pulling linemen. I don't know if you can develop peripheral vision. I never trained my peripheral vision. I just always had very, very good peripheral vision. I've never heard about anyone training it. If you guys have heard that, let me know. I think that's a bit wild to train your peripheral vision. Based off of his strengths, I'm going to be optimistic. And I will give that pick a solid B. I think we probably could have done worse at pick 60. We may have been able to do better. I'm not exactly sure. So what do y'all give the pick of Oluwafemi Oladejo at number 60? Josephine says C. Lions need a solid edge or IDL at worst. Chip Bradshaw says I didn't see that coming. B-. Motown Mitch says yes. I've trained mine to not exist by being hit in the face too many times. Okay. Well, that's not how I want him to train. And obviously that would be the opposite of what you want. You want it to exist in spades, right? So See, this is why I gave the first pick a C minus, because now, all right, you've got a B minus pick, you've got a C pick. Doughboy Steve says all the doodah day. Tactical Spork says the whole drive gets an F minus. Don't say Jack Sawyer. Oh no. Yeah, that wasn't gonna be it. I would have quit if he said Jack Sawyer. This guy's a 3-4 outside backer at the NFL level. Well, the thing, they actually really do like him. They're pretty high on him. He's probably someone that they're going to target, hopefully in the third round. I wouldn't want them to target him in the second round. He's raw. He needs development. If you're bringing him in as an edge, because he's coming off of a conversion from linebacker, so he probably needs a season or two to be ready to make a full impact. So that's why I wouldn't like the first pick to be an offensive lineman or another position, because now you need help. You need edge depth. You need edge superstardom. You need an edge starter on the other side of Hutch. And then you wait to the second round and you got a guy who's not a project as like Broderick Martin is a project, but he's a guy that needs developing. And you don't know how long that development is going to take. So that's why I wasn't in favor of the first one. Doughboy Steve says, pick a guy whose name we can pronounce. You can. Oluwafemi Oladejo. You know? Joseph says we need a Bob or a Steve or even Barney. All right. So that was pick number 2. Now let's go to pick number 3. Okay. All right. Let me get this guy's information up here. Before I announce the pick. I mean, they did go with a big school, so that's good. All right, here we go. With the 109th pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions suggest. You'll see why I said that in a second. The Detroit Lions select Joshua Farmer, defensive lineman out of Florida State, because I was thinking of select and Josh. So I said suggest. Okay. Anyway, so his report, he's 6'3", 305 pounds. He's a defensive tackle. Player grade is 83.5. He's number 30. Okay, as defensive tackles available, but this is the third round, pick 109. His 40 time doesn't matter. It was a 4.11. As I said, he is a defensive tackle, 6'3", 305 pounds. All right, let's go to his strengths. Explosive first step, jumps off the tape, particularly when aligned at the 3-tech. His elite quickness time puts him in rare company for a 318-pound defender. Nasty push-pull swim combination regularly puts interior linemen on skates, showing the violence and timing to separate in tight quarters. Natural leverage player who can get under offensive linemen's pads when he stays disciplined with his get-off. Heavy hands pack a serious punch on initial contact. Brings serious juice as a pass rusher when he has a plan. Showed he can stack moves together with his club swim and rip counters. I found that weird to say when he has a plan. So sometimes he rushes the pass rusher with the passer with the plan, and sometimes he doesn't. I guess that's what they mean. Um, Frame carries mass extremely well with thick lower half and broad shoulders that suggest room for additional good weight. I don't know how much more weight he needs if he's 318 pounds. Flash has the ability to stack and shed with proper extension. Um, High level athlete for the position who closes space in a hurry. Rare movement skills for a man his size. But I'm liking this pick so far. All right, weaknesses. Pad level is wildly inconsistent. Obviously, he can get too high or he can be just right. Struggles mightily against double teams and needs significant technical refinement in his anchor. Pass rush plan comes and goes. Yeah, I guess that's what it meant. Too many wasted rushes where he's just pushing forward without purpose or counter moves. Can get caught playing too high against zone schemes, allowing offensive linemen to reach him and seal running lanes. Timing on his block shedding needs work. Often a beat late, disengaging, which limits his impact in the run game. I really don't have a problem with this pick. I'm gonna give this pick I'm going to give this pick an A. Okay? I'm going to give this pick an A. Why am I giving it an A? I like the fact that Brad, in this situation, I know it's not Brad, I know it's J-Wack, addresses the defensive line twice over, okay, in the second, third round. I would have liked for him to do it in the first round, but he used the second and the third round pick, and he got his edge and defensive tackle in the back-to-back picks. The weaknesses that he has, again, all of these guys are going to be able to be coached up, but I believe that if he's able to reach his ceiling, he'd be a monster player for us. And because that happened in the third round, it's not Broderick Martin. It's a guy that played at Florida State. It's a guy that actually can play, and you can see film readily. You don't have to search the internet night and day, high and low, to find film on Joshua Farmer. So, yes, I'm going to give this pick an A. Let me see what you guys have given it in the chat. Justin Fan says solid B for the third round. Speaking of Broderick Martin, did you see he changed his number? I would have given him his one-way ticket to somewhere out of Detroit. He changed it to 99. What was he last season? 96? So Chip Bradshaw says, I'm with Just a Fan in thinking that we need a pure edge or interior defensive lineman this high of a pick, not a developmental linebacker transition. Yeah, that's why I didn't really like the pick. I think I gave it a C. Oh, hell yes. Finally a name we can pronounce. Joshua Farmer. Solid B for the third round. Hard to say, not knowing who's still on the board. Yeah, that is the thing. This whole draft sounds like projects, and I think that's the reason why you're gonna see Brad Holmes trade up. You know, I think everybody that comes in to the draft has warts, and no one is fully developed because you're not supposed to be in college. But I guess reading them out makes them seem like more than what they are. C plus, big guy in the middle, not bad. We need some depth insurance there for sure. Nobody was buying a Broderick Martin jersey. I don't know what he had last year. Well, he couldn't have been 98 because DJ Reader got that from him. So, yeah. So I think this is round 4. So we got a scouting report for this one as well. Let me prepare it. All righty. Here we go. With the, what is it? 1, 2, 3, fourth pick. With the fourth pick, which is pick 143. With the 143rd pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Jalen Reed, safety, Penn State. Jalen Reed is 6 foot 211. He's from Detroit. His player ranking is an 80. He's number 30 at his position. He ran a 4.49 40. I saw a breakdown about Jalen Reed a couple days ago. So let's go to his strengths and weaknesses. Strengths: displays exceptional intrinsics when playing downhill, showing quick diagnosis skills and the ability to navigate through traffic while maintaining proper pursuit angles. Brings the thunder as a tackler despite average size, consistently wraps up and drives through contact with impressive functional strength in the box. Versatile chess piece who can legitimately line up at multiple spots. Shows enough range for deep safety while bringing the lumber close to the line. This guy sounds like Brian Branch. Natural feel for run fits and gap integrity when playing in the box. Rarely gets caught out of position and maintains disciplined edge control. Accelerates through his tackles with excellent closing bursts, showing the ability to break down quickly in space without sacrificing momentum. Film study shows consistent improvement in reading quarterbacks' eyes and pattern matching, growing comfort in zone coverage concepts. High football IQ, evident in pre-snap communication and alignment adjustments, often gets teammates in proper position, and special teams demon. Okay. All right, let's look at his weaknesses. Can be over aggressive attacking downhill, occasionally taking himself out of plays by committing too early to his initial read. Sounds like Ernie Sims to me. Man coverage skills remain a work in progress. Tight hips show up when forced to turn and run with more authentic tight ends more athletic tight ends and backs. Despite solid testing numbers, doesn't consistently show elite range when working as a single high safety and coverage. Could improve block shedding technique. Could improve block shedding technique. Tends to get stuck on blocks longer than ideal when working through traffic, and sometimes loses leverage at the point of attack or pursuing outside runs. Needs to maintain better outbox or outside shoulder discipline to force play back at home. All right. So that pick gets a what from you guys? Tactical Spork says, I give this pick an A. Justin Fan says Jalen Reed seems like a Brad Holmes guy. Also, he is a Detroit native. Justin Fan says B plus for round 4. Tactical Spork says, I like this pick. He looks like he can fill the iffy role. Wowzer's another one we can pronounce. Yay, Doughboy Steve. Chip Bradshaw says, A for me, special teams is what helps. Hips may be a limiting concern at the NFL level. I do believe he could fill the iffy role, even though he's not as big as Iffy. Iffy's 6'3". Like, he does sound like a Brian Branch to me, probably to a lesser extent. So just having him out there, we could do something with 3 safety looks and things of this nature, which we didn't get to see last season because Iffy was mostly hurt for the entire season. So that's one there. Okay. So I will give it an A. I'll give that an A. I don't think that's bad. I think that's a pretty good pick, especially in round 4. Okay. The next one. Let me just speed through these, and you guys tell me if you know anything about these players. All right, 169, we get Pat Bryant, wide receiver, Illinois. At 180, we get Antoine Powell Ryland, who's an edge from Virginia Tech. At 196, we get Cody Lindenberg. Who is a, let's see, what is he? A linebacker out of Minnesota. And number 7, we get CJ. All right. And then we have CJ Dupree. There was another pick, but I couldn't get the screenshot. So CJ Dupree is our first number 7 pick, round 7 pick. He is a tight end out of Alabama. Yes. So again, Pat Bryant, wide receiver. Antoine Powell Ryland, edge. Cody Lindenberg, linebacker. CJ Dupree. Yeah, CJ Dupree is a tight end out of Alabama. So what do y'all think about the rest of that? Let me know. J-Wack. J-Wack Gridiron. That is whose draft it was. You already know what I'm gonna do if I do a mock draft. All right, y'all want me to do a mock draft? Before I get out of here, I'm gonna do a mock draft. Heard of the wide receiver? Yeah, me too. I haven't watched any tape on any wide receivers because I don't care about them this year. I don't care about nothing but an edge, a linebacker, a defensive tackle. That's it. The front 7 is the only thing I care about. I don't care about no safeties. I don't care about no corners. I don't care. Give me an edge or 2. Said not as defensive heavy as I expected Lions to do. It's pretty defensive heavy. We've got the first pick was offense. Then we got 1, 2, 3 defense. then one offense, two more defense, one more offense. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks that I can see, we've got 5 defense and 3 offense. And then there's another pick somewhere below that one, but I just can't see it because it wasn't in screenshot. Chip Broadshire says, I like hearing a wide receiver in the mix. I don't care for them this year at all. Give me all defensive line, unless you get Jihad Campbell. All right, let me go ahead and do a mock draft really quickly. I'm going to use the same as what he used. I think he used NFL Draft mock draft database, so I'm going to use the same one. All righty, let's go. What is Draftplex? All right, let me see. Where's the simulator? Come on, bro. Where is the simulator? Oh, there we go. All right. Let's go ahead. Take the Lions, and we're doing 7. All right, let's make it fast. All right, let's enter the draft room, and then we shall start. I guess y'all will want to see the draft while I'm doing it, so let me put it in the window. All right. Let me make myself smaller so y'all can see the board. That's not the one I'm looking for. All right. Here we go. Okie dokie. Let's get started. No, Arizona. Arizona trying to trade with me, but whenever I try to trade with Arizona, they don't want to do it. How is Kansas City going to trade with me and not swap number 1 picks? Come on, bro. All right. I think this is why he took Tyler Booker. Ooh. It's not a lot going on up here. Hmm. What to do? What to do? All right, let's look at my edges. Do I want to take Nick Scorton at 28? I don't want to take Derek Harmon. Frick. You know what? I'm gonna restart this. I can't deal with this draft. Okay. All right. We're gonna trade. Let's go. I got up to pick number 14. Now Washington wants to trade the pick with me. You are not doing that. No, no. Sorry, people. All right. Pick number 14. All right, let's see what kind of edges we got up here. You know what? I don't know that I'm trading up for Michael Williams, but I am going to draft James Pierce Jr. Let's go. Let's go. All right. My next pick, I still have the number 60 pick. I'm going to reject you boys. All right. Now, let's see. I'm doing it, baby. Let's go, Jalen Milroe. Let's go, Jalen Milroe. You are a Detroit Lion. All right, and we're gonna add to our interior Omar Norman lot. We got James Pierce in the first round. We're gonna get his teammate in the third. Let's go. All right. No, I don't want your trades. Get out of here. All right, round 4. Now I'm going to address. Let's see. Gonna go Dylan Fairchild. Hey, draft database is liking my draft right now. I got an A, a B plus for Jalen Milroe, an A plus for Omar Norman Lott, and A plus for Dylan Fairchild. Let's see. Let's just go BPA from here. Uh, remember David Walker? Y'all remember David Walker? Um, let's see. I'm gonna get my safety. I'm gonna go with Sebastian Castro. Okay. NFL mock draft database really loves my drafts, bro. I'm always getting A's, high A's, B's. Um, okay. We can go ahead and get our receiver here. We can go ahead and get Mr. Pat Bryant. Okay. Mm. Ooh, Jabbar Muhammad. Let's go. All right. So my draft is as follows. Let me save this. All right. So I traded up with the Indianapolis Colts to pick number 14. I got James Pierce Jr. Then at pick number 60, I got Jalen Milroe. At 102, I got Omar Norman Lott, defensive lineman, Tennessee, who played with James Pierce in college. Number 130, I got Dylan Fairchild, interior offensive lineman out of Georgia. Number 196, I got Sebastian Castro, a safety out of Iowa. Number 228, I got Pat Bryant, wide receiver out of Illinois. Could have been a teammate of Kirby's. I'm not sure. And number 244, I got Jabbar Muhammad out of Oregon. So to get him in the 7th, I think that's a steal. And this is how the draft fell. Cam Ward 1, Abdul Carter 2, Shedeur Sanders 3, Armand Membo 4, Mason Graham 5, T-Mac, who doesn't watch film, by the way, who's another one of those people that's like, oh, I don't watch film. I don't watch football. I don't like watching film. I don't watch myself. Come on, bro. Like, stop saying this to people. Just don't do that. Kelvin Banks goes number 7 to the Jets. Travis Hunter goes number 8 to the Carolina Panthers. For T-Mac to go before Travis Hunter is weird to me, especially with the Raiders doing it. Shamar Stewart goes number 9 to the Saints. Ashton Jeanty, of course, goes number 10 to the Bears. Mike Green, 11. All the way up at 11 to San Francisco. Jalen Walker, 12 to the Cowboys. Will Campbell, 13 to the Dolphins. As I said, 14. James Pierce goes to the Detroit Lions. Michael Williams goes 15 right after James Pierce to the Falcons. Walter Nolan goes to the Cardinals. Donovan Ezaraku goes to the Bengals. Gray Zabel goes to the Seahawks. Tyler Warren goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Emeka Egbuka goes to the Denver Broncos. Kenneth Grant goes to the Steelers. Will Johnson goes to the Bolts. Jade Brown or Barron goes to the Packers. Tyler Booker goes to the Vikings. Josh Simmons goes to the Texans. Colston Loveland goes to the Rams. Jihad Campbell, damn it, goes to the Baltimore Ravens. Nick Scorton goes to and take our pick. They take Nick Scorton. We got James Pierce. Matthew Golden goes to the Commanders. The Bills take Derek Harmon. The Chiefs take Malachi Starks. And Donovan Jackson goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. That is how the first round played out. All right, so let me know what y'all thought of my draft. What did I give up to? So I gave up our first round this year. It was a pick swap, and our second round next year. So we're just out of our second round pick next year, but I kept everything for this year pretty much. QB in the second round is crazy. I'm just saying he's gonna be our tush push specialist now that the tush push is still here. It hasn't been banned, and you can get him at number 60. That's just another dynamic weapon for your offense. I know it's controversial. I know. An A- because of the QB in the second round. Other than QB, that don't seem bad. Later Gator haters. All right, Justin. Tactical Sport gives it an A. Whoever is remaining, what are your grades on that draft? That's it. A plus fleecing. Yes. A pick swap. And every time I try to trade with the Cardinals, no matter what I try to give them, they don't want to take the trade. And the Indianapolis Colts were like, hey, we'll take that trade, no problem. So yeah, I don't know what I'm fine. If that's all it takes, I don't think that's all it's gonna take, like in real life. But if that's all it takes, bro, Brad Holmes better move up to give up a pick swap for this to number 14. You go up 14 spots, and then all you're actually giving up is a second rounder from next year. No, sir. He better move up. But as I said, in the real world, I don't think that that's what's going to be happening. All right. Any mailbag questions before I head out and see y'all next week? Again, guys, let me know if you are in the Discord. I think it's called Walk the Mock. I will put yes, it's called Walk the Mock. So I'll put a link to Walk the Mock in the Discord. Let me know if you will be paying the $5. It's $5 for a month. Obviously, we just do it the one time, and then we can do our own group mocks, I believe. I know you can mock against other people. I believe if you're paying the $5, you can definitely have your own private room. Let me put this in the Discord right now. All right, I'm putting it in the all 32 mock draft business. Okay, so I just put all that in there. It says, let me know if you're gonna pay the $5 for a 1 month subscription so we can do the group draft. You're paying them, not me. Yeah, so none of that is coming to me. You would just sign up on their site and pay the $5. So yes. Tactical is in. I'm in. So anyone else, make sure you share it with the people and figure out what you're gonna do. But as for now, I gotta get my son up and get him ready to go. Drop him somewhere so he can go to the movies with his friends so that I can get back to work. So appreciate y'all once again for coming through, stopping by, hanging out. And yeah, it'll be a weekend of work for me. Hopefully everyone enjoys their weekend. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. If you were in the chat just chilling and you wanted to talk, but you couldn't talk, it's because I have the subscribers mode on. And make sure you share and make sure you let everybody know that the Motor City Cats are back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. It was good to see you two, Chip Bradshaw, and we will see you guys next week. We are out of here. Peace.